Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today is a pretty big day. If you've been following the channel regularly, you know I've been developing a web app on the side to help keep track and really just tell me how much money I'm making selling options. And last night I said screw it and I released the beta version. So we're going to answer the question, how much am I actually making selling options? And what can I do with that money that I'm making? If I am making any, spoiler alert. I am, at least for now. Before we get started though, if you like this kind of content, I've been documenting me and my journey selling options for some time now. And if you want to follow along, see what I do well, see what I don't do so well, and learn from that, please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any videos in the future. If you also want to help out the channel, I have a course down below. It's for selling options for beginners. It tells you everything you need to know if you want to go ahead and get started doing this yourself. I teach everything I know that can get you started. This is my web app. This is the beta version, as I mentioned before, so there will be tweaks and feature enhancements along the way. But I wanted to open this up and just let people use it and see if anyone was going to use it. And when you upload a statement, we'll see what that does here in a second. It doesn't actually save the statement. I don't store it somewhere. I don't care to. The only thing I'm tracking right now is how many uploads are occurring on this website. So I went ahead and I took a screenshot of a database table that tracks all this. There have been 7 uploads so far, which is awesome. 2 of them have actually been mine, so it's actually 5 different uploads that were people other than me. And then this is how many rows of data have been parsed and calculated for the total return and broken down for you to see how much money you're actually making. So that's incredible, 9,000 rows of data so far. And really, I just wanted to make this database table just to track, like, is anyone actually using this? So it's great to see people are. If you want to use it for yourself, go check it out. I'll have this also linked below, or you can go to selloptions.net. And what you have to do is you have to create a Robinhood statement. So hopefully you trade options on Robinhood. Otherwise, at least for right now, there's no way to use this. So what's cool about Robinhood statements is you can choose your own time span. So you can make it 1 day, you can make it 1 month. You can ask your question, how much did I make last week? How much did I make so far this year? Go ahead and create that right here. You'll hit download. It'll download the CSV, and then you can upload it right here. I ended up creating 2 today. One is asking the question, how much did I make so far this week? So it went from the 23rd to the 25th. And then we're also going to look at how much did I just make today selling options and see how much I'm actually making. So let's go back to our web app and let's go ahead and look. I think this one is going to answer, we'll see here in a second if that's true, how much I've made so far this week selling options and what stocks am I selling options on to make this amount of income. So we go ahead and upload this. We can see the date span is the 23rd through the 25th of this statement. And I've sold almost $2,700 worth of options, but that's not how much I actually made because I also bought to close $1,600 worth of options. And this is probably from rolling options, or, if options get to be of little value, I'll go ahead and buy to close those just to free up either the cash or the stocks that I use as collateral. And then so how much actually hits my account and how much money I'm actually profiting is this net premium right here. It's $1,074. And that was after 42 different trades. So if we have it broken down by ticker symbol, and we can also sort this, SoFi is the one stock that I've made the most from selling options. And then Robinhood, HIMS, Delta Airlines, Nubank, and TQQQ. And over here is a pie chart just to show you visually what's making up the most money of selling those options. And if you want to look at individual transactions, you can go down here and do that. So how much am I actually making? Well, in 3 days, I've made $1,074, which totally blows my mind. I say this every time because I still can't fathom sometimes how much I'm able to make selling options. And this amount goes in my account. I can do whatever I want with it. I can withdraw it and send it to my bank if I want. I can purchase more shares of my favorite stocks, which is what I do typically. It's why I've accumulated so many shares of SoFi over the time. I can go buy Chipotle if I want with it. And then I also want to answer the question, how much did I make just today? So if we upload this other CSV, this other statement just of today, we can see today alone, June 25th, I made $424 off of these different ticker symbols. And if you're curious how much money I have to have in order to make this much, if we go to my Robinhood portfolio. Right now the account's sitting at $137,000. And I do a collection of both selling puts and selling calls. So with that being the case, when I sell a covered call at a higher price than I acquired the stocks, if those covered calls become assigned to someone and I have to sell my shares to them, I'll also make, aside from the amount you're seeing here, some capital appreciation. And that's why I think selling options is like the ultimate way of trading stocks. I don't really like to consider myself a trader because whenever I hear of people that are traders full time, that kind of makes me think that they're scammy. And that's just a bias I have, just because that seems to be the reputation of a lot of people that are quote unquote traders. But I suppose this is a form of trading, but to me it just makes so much more sense because I know what I'm committing to. I'm getting paid for that commitment and I can benefit from the commitment. That's really what selling an option is. It's committing to something and getting paid for that commitment. Whether it's purchasing more shares at a certain price by a certain date if that stock goes below that price, or selling them at a certain price by a certain date if the stock goes above that price. And so yeah, long story short, if you want to see how much you're actually making from selling options, go check out my website. It's in beta version. By the way, I'm going to be continuing to tweak this along the way. So if you end up coming to this website at some point and it's just spinning or it seems to be down, it's probably that you caught it at a bad time because I'm uploading the latest code. I don't really have like a dev environment or a prod environment. And if you don't know what that means, that's totally fine. Just know that I could be actively working on this if it doesn't seem to be serving up. So just give it some time, come back to it if that's the case, and it should be working again. But yeah, go check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm also, like I said, building features and stuff. So I'm super excited about this. I hope a lot of people use it and it saves you a lot of time because that's what it's for. It's for time saving. And yeah, much appreciated. I hope to see you in a future video.